n and x of k are said to form this n-point DFT, the property statement states that if I could time reverse the sequence, or if I could reverse my time domain sequence, the same reversing is also observed in the frequency domain. That is, if x of n is said to form an n-point DFT with x of k, then x of n minus n is also said to form an n-point DFT with x of n minus k. Time reversing in time domain, the same reversing is also found in the frequency domain. In a few textbooks, the term x of n minus n is also written as x of minus n modulo n. Same thing, capital X of n minus k is written as x of minus k modulo n. Okay, please note that when I use this modulo n, the reversing is always being viewed on the circular scale, but not on the linear scale. So let us get into the proof of this particular the property. To begin with, what we do is I start with the very DFT equation, which states that x of k is given by summation x of n into what is respect to exponential term e to the power of minus j 2 pi nk by n. What am I doing in the next line? Changing k to n minus k, because I want this term x of n minus k. That is why I am rewriting the equation in place of k by n minus k. Accordingly, x of n minus k, in the above equation, wherever k is there, replace k by n minus k. That is all. The remaining terms remain the same. Then the first term is as it is, summation x of n. See, this whole exponential term gets deduced to e power j 2 pi nk by n. Why? What happened to this term n? E to the power of minus j 2 pi n by n. What happened to this term? Why is it only nk by n? What happened to this capital N? Yes, I want some kind of reply. Only then I'll come to know that whether you people are listening to me or not. Is my question clear to all of you? Students, am I audible to you, first of all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now ask a question. See, when I replace k by n minus k, why am I writing this term as equal to this term? Any answers from your side? Yes? No answer from your side? And then what are you people listening to me here all these days? Huh? I don't know. Okay, wait 1 second. I'll just share a screen and just show it over there. You people must participate and understand things here. We just simply, I told you I'll use a whiteboard. You told no ma'am, with this we are fine. Okay, see what is happening to that particular line is, see, when I say this term, what is that the term? E to the power of minus j 2 pi n. When I replace k by n minus k divided by n, I told this term is equal to e to the power of plus j 2 pi nk by n. I asked how is it? See, by considering this term, let's expand this here. It will be equal to what? E to the power of minus j 2 pi nk by n is one term into what? E to the power of minus into minus is plus j times 2 pi nk by n. As you people know, what is this term? E power minus j 2 pi by n is what? W to base n. Okay? And see again here we have left one term, e power minus j 2 pi n into capital N. So this term n also should be taken into consideration. So what is Wn equal to? E to the power of minus j 2 pi by n. 2 pi by n is your Woodle factor term. This is a Woodle factor term. So when I rewrite this equation in terms of Woodle factor, it becomes what? It becomes what is? It's viewed as Wn to the power of, what is left? When I take minus j 2 pi by n, I'm left out with n times k times capital N. So I've told you, whenever this middle factor at the base I've got n and at the exponential term also I've got n. Along with this term n, if I've got any other coefficients, provided n over here and n over here, this term is always equal to 1. Either it is plus value or minus value, it doesn't matter. Is it clear? The middle factor, if I've got in the base n, in the exponential I've got n, along with this any other coefficients, whether it's plus or minus sign, it is equal to 1. So what happens? This term tends to 1. What am I left out with? Left out with only this term e power j 2 pi nk by n. That is why this term will be written as e power j 2 pi by n times nk. Is it clear? Is it clear to everybody? Now, students, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You people must participate and you must understand. Simply you just can't look at the screen. No point. So now accordingly what happens? That is why this term is what written as just e power j 2 pi nk by n, because the first term gets eliminated to 1. Next, the next step what I've done, I've opened the summation, I've expanded the summation series. What is the first value of n? 0. X of 0, since the value of n is 0, it's what? E power 0, the first term. What is the second term? X of 1, the value of n is what? 1, e power j 2 pi k by n. Second term, x of 2, e power j 2 pi, the value of n is what? 2k by n, and so on. What is the last term? N minus 1. What is the last but one term? N minus 2. So in place of small n, it is n minus 2. In place of small n, it is what? N minus 2. What's the last term? N minus 1 and n minus 1. This is what the expansion of the summation series. Understand the steps thoroughly. In the next step, see the first term is being kept as it is. First term is being kept as it is. What's happening in the second term? X of 1 as it is. Can I write e power j 2 pi k by n as e power minus j 2 pi by n minus 1k? Does it make any difference? Does it make any difference? Yes or no? I want a reply. Yes?
No, ma'am.
No? Why not no? See, again, if you could expand this, e power minus j 2 pi by n at base n and at exponential n, what happens? This term tends to what? 1. What remains then? E power minus into minus is what? Plus. E power j 2 pi by k. Same thing. E power j 2 pi by k. Because for the sake of getting the result in the standard form, I've introduced this term n minus 1. This n minus 1 is not disturbing the entire result of this, because this term tends to 1 and this term tends to the original term only, results in the original term only. Similarly, even for the second term, what I've done, I've replaced 2 by what? See here, I've replaced 1 by n minus 1. I'm replacing 2 by what? N minus 2. Replace 2 by n minus 2. Again, the first term gets reduced to 1 and the remaining term will be as it is. Wherever are the integers 1, 2, 3 and 4, I'm attaching n minus, prefixing n minus, because the result is not getting disturbed. Accordingly, this is the first term, this is the second term and so on. But please observe the last two terms. What I must prefix here? N minus of n minus 2. That n and minus n will get cancels. What remains is just e power minus j 2 pi 2k by n. Similarly, the last term, n attach for this prefix n minus 1. N minus n will get cancels. What remains then? E power minus j 2 pi k by n remains. Why are you doing it, madam? Just see, because I want to get the result in the standard format. So now what I'll do is, x of n minus k is the first term. The first term is kept as it is. Instead of taking this x of one term, I'm starting writing sequence from the last term. What is the last term? X of n minus 1, e power minus j 2 pi k by n. Then taking the last but one term as to be my next term, x of n minus 2 term, and so on, so on. What will be the last but one term? The second term over here, and this term comes to the end. We're just what? Reverting the sequence except for the first term. The first term has been kept as it is and the whole sequence has been reverted to get the result in the standard format. Now, I assume that the first term can be represented as x of 0 is what, nothing but the value of x of capital N into e power minus j 2 pi by n 0 times k. The indexing of n is 0. So this whole term tends to what? E power 0. So what is x of 0 equal to? X of n. By assuming x of 0, to take this particular value, what I'll do is I'll rewrite the generalized expression for x of n minus k. So what happens to x of n minus k now? This whole thing is what? Brought back under the summation hat. Summation indexing n varying from 0 to n minus 1. X of n minus n and this exponential term. This as it is. So please check whether this value is valid or not. For the value of, what is the first value of small n? 0. Put the value of n is what? 0. What is the first term then? X of n, as it is x of n. This term is what? E power 0, e power 0, as it is, the first term. Next, what is the second value of small n? 1. Check it out. X of n minus 1. I've got x of n minus 1. E power minus j 2 pi n. What is the value of n? 1 into k. The next term is what? N minus 2. Next is what? N minus 3 and so on. So by giving this generalized expression for the above summation, what I get now? X of n minus k is what? Summation n varying from 0 to n minus 1. X of n minus n e power minus j 2 pi by n times nk. Now, leave this LHS part here. Just observe the RHS part. If you could just carefully observe this equation and observe the first equation. What I had here, I had x of k, add this whole term. In place of x of k, at down what I'm having? X of n minus k. In place of x of n, what I'm having there? X of n minus n. See, if x of n and x of k could form an endpoint DFT pair with this equation, changing x of k to x of n minus k and changing x of n to what? To x of n minus n is also set to form an endpoint DFT pair. In place of x of n, what I'm having? X of n minus n. In place of x of k, what I'm having? X of n minus k. The summation term as it is, this exponential term as it is. That is why I say this RHS is nothing but what? The DFT representation of what term? Of x of n minus n. So DFT of x of n minus n is what is by LHS? X of n minus k. That is why x of n minus n is set to form an endpoint DFT with x of n minus k. What does the equation means here? If I've got my sequence x of small n, if I could time reverse the sequence, what do I get? I get x of n minus n. If I could time reverse the sequence in time domain, the z domain, this is the time reversal property. Clear? If you have got any doubts in any of the steps, you can ask me before I could move on to the next property. Yes, it's open to everyone, to each one of you. Any doubts in any of the line, please do ask me. Students, if there is no doubt, I'll move to the next property. Any doubt? Do not hesitate, get your doubts cleared. No, okay, fine. I want everybody else also to participate. Yeah. Next is, we'll be seeing the two properties in circular scale. One is the circular time shift property. The second one is circular frequency shift property. See, if you've understood the circular time shift property, the same thing can be viewed in the frequency domain. The first one, understand it correctly. Okay, now, what the property statement states is, if x of n is said to form an n-point DFT pair with x of k. X of k. The statement of circular time shift property goes like this. X of n minus L modulo n. This is very term. X of n minus L modulo n represents the sequence x of n is what? Shifted by L units. Shifted by L units on the circular scale. This is the circular shifting property. The sequence x of n is what? Shifted by how many units? By L units. Where the minute you see modulo n, it is not linear scale, but it is circular scale. If I have circular shifted the sequence in time domain, in frequency domain, what is the corresponding result? Whatever DFT I am going to obtain x of k, that x of k has to be multiplied by this particular complex factor. I'll repeat once again. Shifting the sequence on a circular scale results in multiplying the DFT, multiplying the corresponding DFT of the sequence by this corresponding complex term, So we have to prove this equation. Let's start. What we know here, if I know general, what's that equation x of n, I know how to write its DFT. Let's start with that only. Now, in the time being, what is my LHS side? This circular shifted sequence, x of n minus L modulo n. I represent this whole sequence by what? By new variable called as x dash of n, just for sake of convenience. Instead of writing the whole length, a plain one shot, x dash of n. So now, what is the DFT of any given sequence? Summation, that particular sequence multiplied by this exponential term. In place of x of n, what I've got? X dash of n. What is x dash of n? The circular shifted term. So, the DFT of this circular shifted term is what? Summation small n varying from 0 to n minus 1. The circular shifted sequence multiplied by the regular exponential term. Now, see, I've done all these 4 steps in detail so that if it's an online class, you should not have any doubts. Now, what exactly this term? So, for example, in this case, I assume the value of capital N as 4, and the value of shifted value L by is what? 2. Now, how does this equation looks like? X of n minus the value of L is 2, the value of capital N is 4. What does this whole term means? See, this whole equation summation sequence is broken up into two intervals. Please note that before coming over here. See, there are 2 intervals. One is what? From interval 0 to L minus 1. The second interval is from L to N minus 1. In my present context, what is the value of capital N? 4. What is the value of L? 2. The minute I say 0 to L minus 1, there are how many samples? 2 samples. 0, L is 2, 2 minus 1 is what? 1. So for first 2 samples, 0 and 1, I've written these 2 equations. Second summation term, from where? From L to N minus 1. Now what is the value of L here? 2. What's the value of N minus 1? 3. For 2 and 3, for instance, 2 and 3, this is the equation. You can ask me, madam, what is this equation? I told you right that day, probably yesterday's class or day before yesterday's class. What is x of n minus 2 modulus 4 here? Nothing but what? N minus 2 mod 4. N minus 2 mod 4. What is n minus 2 mod 4? What is a mod b? A minus b multiplied by some value of p. Didn't I say you must choose the value of p to be what? Some value of integer, so that the result should be always positive and the result should not exceed the value of b. In this case, this whole thing here, n minus 2. N minus 2 is what? A. What is b now? 4. A minus b. Okay. I must choose a certain value of p to be multiplied to this 4 to get the right answer. That is why, see, for interval, what is that? 0 to L minus 1. There are 2 samples. sample 0 and sample 1. So I have taken this as x dash of 0 and x dash of 1 because what is x dash of n? My circularly shifted sequence. So for intervals 0 and 1, this is the indexing. N minus L plus N and N minus L plus N. If you people are really listen to me, you can always ask me a question. Madam, why can't it be, for example, for these two cases, can anybody say me, what is the value of P taken? What is the value of P taken? So I told N minus L is what, yaar? A. What is A mod B? What is A mod B? A minus B multiplied by P. Shall I take a white screen and explain? Shall I take a white screen and explain this concept, or is it clear in the board? Students? ಮಾತೆ ಆಡಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಗರು ಬೇಜಾರು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡೋಕಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ. ಹಲೋ.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
ma'am. Shall I take the whiteboard and explain the concept, how we got the values?
Yes,
ma'am. Or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, people must respond, yaar. Okay, now see over here. So what did I say over there, that particular value? Yes. So I told it was what? X of n minus 2 mod 4. I told n minus 2 is the A value. And what is B value? 4. So what part? A mod B. What is A mod B given by? A minus B multiplied by some value of P. What did I say? But choose a value of P as? The value of P should be chosen in such a way that the result of this should be what? Should be some positive value, and if that value should never exceed the value of B. In such a way, I should choose a value of P. So I told for indexing, say for example, n is equal to 0. Say for example, n, see, for n is equal to 0. What I choose a value as? X of n minus L plus n. Please note that in this case, this is your A value and this is your B value. What does A mod B means? A minus B into P. What is A now? N minus L. A minus L is A minus, what is the value of B in this case? N. So what multiplied by some value of P. In my case, what is the value of N? Indexing 0. N is what? 0. What's the value of L? What's the value of L? L is what? 2. What is the value of N in my case? 4. Can you people suggest me some value of P so that I should get a positive answer? Say for example, P is minus 1 here. What happens? What is 0 minus 2? Minus 2 plus what? 4. Don't you think the answer is plus 2? This plus 2. This value is what? Positive, and this value is not exceeding the value of B. That is what? The value of N in this case. That is why in this case, for N is equal to 0, X dash of 0 is nothing but equal to the value of X is equal to 2. Similarly, now say for example, if I could take what? N is equal to 1, N is equal to 1, the same formula here. N minus L minus N star P. What's the value of N now? 1. What's the value of L? Minus 2. L is what? 2. What's the value of N? What's the value of N here? 4. Now again over here, so just with the value of P. I'll take again what the value of P is what? Minus 1. Minus 1. So this is equal to what? 1 minus 2 is minus 1. What happens here? Minus 1 plus 4. What is the value? 3. What's the value? 3. So in this case, X dash of 1 is equal to what? X of 3. X of 3. But please note that when the value of n is equal to 2, it's what? N minus L minus N star P. Now you people must say, what's the value of N here? 2. What's the value of L here? What's the value of L here? It's 2 minus, what is the value of N here? 4. Can you people suggest me a value of P? What's the value of P? What should be the value of PR? Should it
0.
be minus 1? Should it be
0.
minus 1? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
What happens if I could choose a value of PS minus 1 over here? 2 minus 2 is what? 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Minus, what happens over here? Minus n of minus 1. What happens about the value? The value of n becomes 4. It is increasing my index value. My index value will run from only 0, 1, 2, 3. I should be only within 3. I can't exceed 3. That is why in this case, I'm going to choose the value of P as basically what? 0. This whole term results in 0. This whole term results me in a value of 0. So accordingly, in this case, x dash of 2 will be equal to x of 0. Similarly, for the value of n is equal to 3, again it's what? N minus L minus N star P. It is the value of n is 3 over here, the value of L is minus 2, minus the value of n is 4. Again, here also I'm going to choose a value of P as what? 0. What happens? 3 minus 2 is 1, minus 0 turns out to be 1. That is why here x dash of 3 is what? X of 1. See, this is what I've done. That is why please note that for the first two cases, for the value of 0 and 1, I have generalized the equation by this particular term n. But whereas for 2 and 3, when I could choose a value of P as 0, this term n extends to 0. That is why I'll just restrict myself to a value of n minus L. N minus L. The same thing is being shown in the notes there. I'll just come back to the notes. See, that is why, please note here, for indexing 0 and 1, the equation what I've taken? N minus L plus N. N minus L plus N. For indexing 2 and 3, it is what? N minus L. In this case, the value of P was minus 1, but whereas in these two cases, the value of P is 0. Accordingly, I've generalized these equations. Okay. So now what I'll do is, I'll incorporate these equations in this particular equation. So now what does it say? Therefore, DFT of x dash of n. What I'm doing? I'm breaking the summation index into two intervals. What is the first interval as I told you? 0 to L minus 1. What is the second interval? L to N minus 1. L to N minus 1. So I've taken for this example, you can try for any value of L and you can try for any value of N. The same equations will 100% hold good. We have generalized it. So for interval 0 to L minus 1, what is the corresponding equation? X of n minus L plus n. Multiplied by what? The same factor, exponential term. Plus, for interval L to n minus 1, for 2 and 3, what is the generalized equation? N minus L, the same particular term. Okay. Now, what I've done is, see, if you could just see, I've got two different summation terms. I'll consider each of these two summation terms individually. For the first time, I'll consider the first summation n varying from 0 to L minus 1, the first term multiplied by its exponential term. Now you people must say me here. I assume that the term in the bracket is equal to what? Variable m. So as n tends to 0, what does m tends to? Substitute n as 0. What does m tends to? N minus L. Similarly, what is the upper limit of small n? L minus 1. As n tends to L minus 1, substitute over here. L minus 1 minus L plus n. As n tends to L minus 1, m tends to what? N minus 1. Now what I'll do? I'll rewrite this whole summation with respect to a new summation variable m. So what is the lower index of m? N minus L. What is the upper index? N minus 1. So from n minus L to n minus 1, x of, I put all this term as what? As variable m, x of m, e power minus j 2 pi by n. What is the value of n? What is the value of n here? M plus L minus n. M plus L minus n. K term as it is. K term as it is. Again, please note, wherever you find this n and n over here, the term gets cancelled. I told you, e power j 2 pi by n, nk is equal to 1. So I'll eliminate or omit this term. What else is remaining? E to the power of minus j 2 pi by n, m plus L times of k. This is what I've got for the first summation, Now, similarly, what I'll do, consider the second summation. If you ask, madam, why you are doing it, give me 2 minutes, you could see the result, you will be able to appreciate it. By considering the second result, again I substitute the term n minus L as equal to P. As n tends to L, P tends to L minus L is what? 0. As small n tends to capital N minus 1, what does P tends to? Substitute n as what? N minus 1 minus L. So what is the lower index? 0. What is the upper index? N minus 1 minus L. What is n minus L equal to? P, x of P, e power minus j 2 pi by n. What is n? P plus L of k. What I've done, see from this equation, I've written this equation. What is the only change I've done? I've just changed the variable. Wherever I'd used P, I've replaced P by M to have a common notation in both first and second summation. To have a common notation, math allows this to me to change the variable. So I've rewritten the whole equation in terms of M. Now I've got two different summation values. Accordingly, I'll write the equation for DFT of x dash of n as this was my first summation value, what I obtained. This is my second summation value, what I obtained. If you could notice both, what do you think is a common factor? The indexing m is a common factor. What do you think is the lower limit and what do you think is the upper limit? Please note, in the second half, the indexing is running from 0 to n minus 1 minus L. After n minus 1 minus L, what is the next term? What is the next term here? What is the next term? N minus 1 minus L. What is that? Plus 1. If you could add that minus 1 and plus 1 will get cancelled. So what's the next term? N minus L. After n minus 1 minus L, the very next term which is going to arrive in the summation index is n minus L. If you could add plus 1, this term get cancelled. What's the last index? N minus 1. So what I can do is just say the term within summation series are also same, x of m. This term is also a common factor. So instead of having two different intervals, I combine them to a single interval as what? M varying from 0, lower index 0, upper index n minus 1. X of m as it is, this term as it is. Now again what I'll do now is summation as it is, x of m as it is, break this to e power minus j 2 pi mk by n is one term. The remaining term with L as the second term. See, for this equation, what is the summation indexing here? M. The term M prevails here. So these two are the variable within the summation. But is this term consisting of M? No way. There is some term called as L and K. Or what? Some constants. So to treat this as a constant, pull it outside. If you could just, when I could pull this outside, if you could observe this particular equation, don't you think this is a standard equation for DFT? What is the only change? In place of small n everywhere, I've got what? Small m. That doesn't matter to me. Whether it is m or n, it doesn't matter. Okay? So it's what? This is nothing but what? The DFT of a given sequence is what? X of k. So x of k as it is, this term is what? A constant term. So what's the final conclusion? Therefore, the DFT of the circular shifted sequence represented by x dash of n is this term is equal to what? This term, complex term, multiplied to my DFT. So the conclusion is complex multiplication, because I'm trying to multiply this complex term to my DFT. That's why they say complex multiplication in frequency domain is nothing but what? Circular shift in the time domain. Shifting the sequence circularly in time domain is equivalent to multiplying the DFT by a complex term. Whatever we have done, this shifting the sequence in time domain circularly, the same thing it can be also done in the frequency domain. That is the next derivation. If you have understood this derivation, next derivation is exactly the same as this here. Instead of time domain, what I'll do the shifting in the circular domain. Before going there, any doubts over here? Get it cleared here, because if this derivation is not clear, the next one cannot be clear at all. Again, more number of doubts will add on. So get cleared with this derivation. Any doubts? Only then the next derivation can be moved swiftly. Yes. Yes, students, respond. No response as usual. Section A will not respond for anything. Is it so? Okay. No, nobody is responding. Purva is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any doubts, madam?
No, ma'am, no doubts.
No, the thing is, are you people following? First of all, that I must ask you. Are you people following? If you people are following, at least you must come up with at least one or two doubts here and there. I know learning the derivation on online skill is not tough, but it's not convincing. But still, in the present context, you can't do anything, right? Anybody else? Austin is there. Okay, I don't know everybody's name. Austin, any doubt? The
No,
boy is not at all. No, man. Now do one thing. Okay, shall we move on to the next derivation then?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Elvin will move next derivation. Is not there, Elvin DS left the meeting. Okay, very nice. Okay, fine. We'll move on to the next derivation. I don't know. You people must please do follow and ask doubts. See, the only change here, you please see, compare this equation with this equation here. In this case, what I've done, I'm shifting the sequence in time domain, circular shift in time domain, complex multiplication in frequency domain. The exact opposite is this, is what? See, shifting in circular domain, circular shift in frequency domain results in what? Complex multiplication where in time domain. Is it clear? Circular shift in time domain is what? Complex multiplication in frequency domain. Conversely, circular shift in frequency domain is complex multiplication in time domain. Here what you must do is, you must start with the very basic IDFT equation. IDFT of what? What here is to have x of k. But in this case, what? X of k has got circularly shifted. By how many units? By n units. So in place of x of k, I've got circular shifted sequence. Multiplied by what? E power j 2 pi nk by n. Please note that since this is IDFT, it's not minus, it is plus sign. Next step, what I'll do, as I told you earlier, see in the previous derivation, okay, I'll just take off there. See in the previous derivation, whatever I did these steps here, see for interval 0 to L minus 1, this equation. For interval L to N minus 1, this equation. The same equations are also incorporated there. But what is the only change? The shifting is not done in time domain. The shifting is done in the frequency domain. So what I must do? Change wherever n is there, what I must do? Replace n by k. Replace n by k. It is the same thing. Replace n by k and n by k. That is all. That is all what we are doing over here. Where is that? Yes. So what I have done, for k varying from 0 to L minus 1, what I had there, n minus L plus n, this got replaced with what? K minus L plus n, this term. And for the next summation, from n to n minus 1, this what? Instead of n minus L, is what? K minus L. Replace n by k, that is all you are doing. Replace n by k, all the terms as it is. So what I must do, as usual, consider the first summation, simplify it separately. Take the second summation, simplify it separately, and combine them into one single entity. By considering the first summation, what's the first step? The term in the bracket is abbreviated to a new variable. When k tends to 0, m tends to what? N minus L, because k is 0. As k tends to L minus 1, m tends to n minus 1. Write a new indexing with the respective limits. X of, replace this by m. Replace what? Replace k. Replace k by what? This particular equation. Replace k by what? M plus L minus n. M plus L minus n. As I told you, n and n, it tends to 1. Leave it. What remains? What remains? E power j 2 pi n by n, m plus n plus n. First summation. Consider the second summation. Okay. Same thing. Equate this to p. When k tends to L, p tends to 0 here. When k tends to n minus 1, p tends to n minus L minus 1. New index, new limits. X of p. Substitute the value of k is what? P plus L. P plus L. Now, what I've done over here is that in this equation, what I've done again, what I've done, change of variable. Wherever p is there, replace p by m. Replace p by m. That is it. Now, combine the two results in the earlier equation. Therefore, IDFT of this goes as 1 by n. First summation, second summation. Please note that 0 to n minus L minus 1. What is the next value? N minus L minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 and plus 1 will get cancelled. What do I get? N minus L. And it goes on. So what is the lower limit? 0. What is the upper limit? N minus 1. These two terms are the same. So one single summation term. Again over here, the summation index is what? M. So L will be treated as a constant. Pull the term outside. Pull the term outside. Remaining all terms inside the summation. This whole thing is what? 1 by n summation. This x of m into this term is what? Nothing but the IDFT of the given discrete time sequence x of n. What's what? X of n. This term as it is. Therefore, the IDFT of the circularly shifted DFT sequence is nothing but the x of n multiplied by this term. So what we say, we just analyze is that if a given DFT sequence, its corresponding time domain sequence has to be multiplied by this complex term. This is what I've learned, the two important derivations. Okay, circular time shift property and circular frequency shift property. So I'll just summarize it. In case of circular time shift means what? If I'm trying to circularly shift the sequence in time domain, it results in what? Complex multiplication in frequency domain. I want to say multiplication of complex exponential in frequency domain results in circular time shift. Conversely, instead of circular shifting in the time domain, if a circular shift in the frequency domain, it results in what? Multiplying the complex exponential in what domain? Time domain. So learn any one of the derivation correctly, The second one is a replica of the first one, except that the term n will be replaced by k and DFT equation will be replaced by IDFT equation. See, how much ever I teach or I say, the fluency comes to you only if you people could write it up once, yeah. Even though I've shared the material to you people, okay, you people, for the sake of, don't worry, this time, it's not like a previous semester, you people will, unless to take up your exams, you people will come to the college campus. Even though the classes might go online till the end of the semester, for 100% sure, you people will have to come down to campus to take up the V2 exams, offline exams. So don't take a chance like the earlier semester. Okay, earlier semester you people were lucky to get rid of ESLA, signal systems, control systems and all. But this time it is not sure, it is not so. So please take things seriously and study. Clear? Any doubt, students? Okay, are you guys listening to me? All of you are there?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever anything is being taught here, that day, no, take them half an hour time. Whatever you understood, whatever is been shared in Canvas, please make a copy of it into your notes. Only if you could write all these terms once by your own hand, things will be stored in your mind. It's still like a mathematical subject. You just simply can't go on reading. You can't bahad things over here. Okay? You tend to go wrong. So do write once. I'm not saying practice n number of times. Write it once. It will be there in your notes. Okay? I think there are some more properties. I can't do it now. I'll just put it to the next class. The next class will finish all the properties and then 2 more classes will reserve for sums. Okay? So by next 3 hours, we should be able to complete this unit, complete this module and go for the next module. Okay, students?
Okay, ma'am.
You people got the scheduler for your assignment and quiz. The class CR has left the meeting. Okay, I'll speak to him afterwards. Why
Yes,
I left the
ma'am.
meeting? Oh, you're leaving his
Hello.
back. Okay, fine.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay,
I'm
yes,
back.
fine. Yes.
Yeah, I'd seen the mail. I didn't go through it actually.
Yeah, because no, I think probably your class advisor would have sent you. Okay. Quiz, no, the quiz will be exclusively for questions based on your module 1, the entire syllabus of module 1. And for assignment, I'll pick a few questions. Okay. And we'll give it to you. You people are required to answer it neatly and scan it up and send it on that Canvas, upload on Canvas. We will let you know shortly and we'll give you sufficient time to complete your assignment. On daily basis, do study, okay? See what all these properties looks pretty simpler, okay? In the exam, out of all these properties, the 1 or 2 properties will be what? Will be a theory question. Remaining all numericals will be based on properties. And to be very honest, for I've taught this subject many number of times, generally if you could ask students, which is the tough module, generally, majority, not all I'm saying, majority of them will find tough to solve problems based on properties. Unlike in module 2, 3 and 4, they're kind of monotonous problems here. The same kind of formula implication is fine. But especially in module 1, problem can be twisted to any extent. Generally, people do tend to go wrong in problem solving in module 1 only. For that, you should have the depth knowledge of the properties and understand the concepts clearly. No problem, if you don't want to ask me doubts now. Today I'll post the entire notes, the properties notes today of this class. Go through it, write it down once. Any doubts, please come back to the next class and ask. Okay? So I'll see you all of you on Friday's 10:15 class. Okay? Yeah. Shall I take 1 more minute of all your, one more precious time of yours? All of you are listening to me?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
No, I don't mean with the other subjects, people have got what 2 live or 1 live and 2 recording classes. I think from my side, I'm doing 3 live classes and if putting 1 or 2 small recordings, no problem, right? With your data. Generally, people complain about data. I don't know. Is it so? No issues?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, pa. Tell me.
On the Friday class, actually, we are having a morning as well as afternoon live sessions. So, continuous live sessions are a bit difficult now.
Difficult. Huh? What Friday afternoon you've got? What is it? You've got thing is that? What is that?
Only on
Lab is
Fridays,
it?
ma'am.
Lab, huh?
No, ma'am. Actually, on Friday, all the 4 classes are live.
Live is it?
Yeah, so
So you
that's
want
the
me to
bit.
put a recording class for Friday?
Yes, ma'am. Only on Friday it could be better if it's a recorded one.
So what I'll do then? All these remaining properties, I'll put up a recording class. Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you? With the class CR is speaking, others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, then no problem. If you insist so much, what can I do? Okay, all the remaining properties, okay, I'll put it tomorrow, by tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to post it. Okay, so we should meet live class for next Monday for the numericals. All the properties will be posted as per your convenience. People listen. Okay, no issues. So Monday we'll go with problems then. Okay, fine. So I'll catch you up on for recording class on that day. Priya when I posted, you people can listen. Okay. So that way Monday we'll meet then, all of you. Okay. So see you all. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.